Welcome, everyone. Welcome, especially the villain community and would-be villain community members. This is Comics Villain, and today we'll be doing a review for It Chapter 2. So, truthfully, I had seen this movie last week, and it was pretty good. It was actually very entertaining. There's different aspects to it that I'd like to discuss, but let's go into kind of what I felt about the movie. So, I got my tickets online, went to an AMC, not too far from where I live, and I saw the movie in, I think it's called Dolby Atmos. Now, with that, the sound quality is just a lot better than normal. It's supposedly better than IMAX in certain regards. You're not getting the full picture that you would with IMAX if any scenes were shot in IMAX. Like if you went to go see Endgame or Infinity War in Dolby Atmos, you will not see the extra bit they put at the bottom and the top of the film. You won't see that. You'll see a good picture. Maybe not as good as, say, IMAX with laser projector. I think that's what it's called. You probably won't see that good a picture, but you will see a better picture than you would with a normal, compared to a normal theater or a normal screen. So I go in. It's this really large, dark, black room. Speakers are just everywhere. Sit down. You feel everything, first off, as far as the sound is concerned. I mean, like, it's all around you moving. So the movie started off, had some interesting little jump scares here and there. I shouldn't say jump scares, but it had an interesting beginning for sure. It's been a while since since I read the book. And by that I mean like it's probably been like almost 20 years. When I was a kid, I think I read that book like 2 or 3 times. It was really good. Weird scenes in the book though, really weird scenes. They're never, as far as I'm aware, they're probably not ever going to bring to the films. I'm sure they'll remake this film over and over and over and over. It's just how Hollywood is. That's not to say there's not merit to a remake. It's just sometimes that's all Hollywood does, is just remake after remake after remake. But going back to the film, I like the first one. And personally, I like the second one. I don't know that I'm going to actually buy it on Blu-ray or digital. I don't know how I feel yet, but as far as the first one had a very good flow to it. The second one, it kind of had some stop and go scenes for me that didn't always flow well, and I don't know if it was because the movie's almost 3 hours. Maybe it's just a lot to take in, and I've only seen it the one time. And I had a bathroom break, so you can't blame me on that one. I did get a rather large drink though, so there's that to blame. And as far as the characters are concerned, there was. So here's my thought on the characters. A lot of people had said chemistry was just not there, and I agree, but I think I agree for a different reason. I agree because the story didn't allow for it necessarily. Well, I should say the story didn't necessarily focus on that. So their chemistry in the first one was vital, was very important. Otherwise, you have nothing going forward. You have nothing to look at going forward. That's meaningful between them. But the second one was supposed to be like individual journeys. They were all together. They grew up. They went their own separate ways. And we wanted to see what they were like as adults, of course. We want to see what their lives were like. We got little glimpses of those in the very beginning and sort of throughout and towards the end where you maybe see like nightmare scenes with those characters and their fears. Overall, it was good. It was good to see. I'm going to say, what's his name? James McAvoy? I think that's his name. feel like he could have. I feel like there are other actors that could have played that role just as well. I'm not saying he was bad, but just not memorable to me. Not really memorable. I don't know. That's what I'm feeling. Going with the other characters, I could almost say the same thing, except Bill Hader. He was pretty good at that. He was pretty good at Richie. Uh, there was something that was interesting that happened with the film, so I'll try to discuss that here. And that was in the book. It was ever so slightly hinted at that he may have been gay, and the movie more than suggested that. So I was like, wait, did any of these scenes happen in the book? It's been such a long time. So I looked up articles, and I saw one that had I think it was the director, saying that the film was going to expand upon what was mostly just hinted at, not even confirmed. Now, on the other hand, and this is sort of not really a super spoiler, but it's more of like uh, a somewhat spoiler. Uh, Hopefully, you guys have seen the movie, and this is more of a cameo that was in the film. So, if you don't want to hear who it was, then just I'll tell you when. All right, I'm gonna reveal that. Three, two, one. Stan King was, or Stan King. Wow, sorry. Uh, what's his name? The author. He was in the book. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name. I feel so horrible now. But he was in the King. Yeah, he was in it. Stephen King, thank you. He was in it for a very quick scene involving the main character played by well, you guys know, the main boy played by McAvoy. He's just trying to get his bike back from when he was a kid, and the store owner was Stephen King. So he got it back. There was some, a little back and forth that was kind of funny, but the fact that he was in it, I'm sure to some extent he was consulted. If not, whatever. But yeah, they decided to go the route of really focusing in on Richie, being in the closet and stuff, and his big fear was being outed. So I was like, whatever. It's whatever it is. I don't think they needed to. It really wasn't a focus they needed to have in this. But yeah, that's the route they want to go. Whatever. There were good scenes, I will say, as far as the scares are concerned. They had Pennywise turning into a lot of interesting, weird things. If you've seen the trailer, then you probably know what I'm talking about as far as him being this weird old lady that was at one point like naked when she was talking to Beth in the apartment. Uh, and I like that they actually incorporated the whole ritual of, I think it's chewed, which is like a Native American thing, or at least that's what they say in the film is a Native American thing, from those who first fought Pennywise. There was a lot of cool stuff with that. There was a lot of cool stuff with that. They did it. They did it in a good way. I remember back when the TV series had come out, and a lot of people were like, they'll never bring up the whole chewed thing. Uh, it just won't work with Hollywood, or it won't work with the film like this. And finally, they did it, and it was appropriate, and it was fun, and they did it in a trippy little way. So I think a lot of things are possible. The other thing that's difficult about a film like this is incorporating that frickin' turtle, but that's more for those that know the book, I guess. Maybe in another remake they'll do that. I've heard that there's potential for a prequel for this. I mean, to me, there's a potential for prequels, sequels, anything, as long as the story's made well. The only problem is you're going to have a different era entirely. See, I th- I think for Hollywood it's really easy to remake things with an 80s style theme, and you have a lot of films from the 80s. You have a lot of films that are trying to also nowadays, and since the 90s, try to recapture that sort of magic of the 80s. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But for the most part, there's a lot of good films that have done that, and a lot of good series. I mean, you could look at Stranger Things. You can look at the boy that plays Richie in this film, and the previous It film. Richie, that kid is literally from Stranger Things, you know. So yeah, Hollywood trying to recapture that 80s vibe. But let's just complete this video. I'll say the film was pretty darn good. I would give it an 8 out of 10. I won't give it perfect because there's some scenes that are just like not necessary, and other stuff that was not necessary. Uh, but for the most part, it was enjoyable. I know some people don't like the film, and other people love the film, and some people are just right in the middle with this thing. And yeah, it's nothing. If I were to say, if you were to ask me, should you go see it? Is it like that worthwhile? I'd say if you love the first one, go see it. If you found the first one interesting, yeah, go see it. If you hated the first one, why bother? Unless you're really that curious, then go ahead. But yeah, honestly, I'd recommend going to see it. Nothing you have to go and rush out for, but when it comes out on digital or something, definitely check it out. I would say one thing though. So I did mention earlier that I saw it in Dolby Atmos, at an AMC. In retrospect, I think it would have been better to go see it in. They have a theater that has a screen. No, I'm sorry, that has like these chairs that sort of move and vibrate. Like it literally does move with the movie. Like they've programmed it to move certain directions. Forward, back, left, right, or even vibrate. I think I would have rather have seen it there than I would have Dolby Atmos, or maybe just see both. I kind of want to do that, but I don't want to sit through the whole thing again. I think it would have been better to see it that way first, more than Dolby Atmos. Even though the experience was excellent in Atmos, I kind of want to have that extra feeling. Chairs moving, things, maybe slightly moving forward as some intense scenes going on, or vibrating when something's rumbling in the movie. So, as far as that's concerned, yeah, that would have been nice. But the movie itself, on its own merit, fantastic film. If you're just looking for something fun to watch, nothing too crazy, then yeah, go check it out. That's, again, I would say 8 out of 10. So hope you guys like the review. I'll have more videos coming out today. Don't ask me why. Just I feel like posting more videos today for some reason. In any case, guys, take care. Have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to be villainous in some way today. All right.